Welcome back to the Sporting Times radio show on 101.5 ESPN Radio. Steve Thompson, Chuck Feist with you every Saturday from 8:30 to 10 o'clock right here on your home for sports. Joining us now in studio, back-to-back state championships for the man, Mr. James Webb. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Oh, man. Oh, Steve, please.
Okay,
We're
Steve.
both too old. We're both too old. Hey, man, I got to tell you, life is good at North right now. I mean, kids are pumped. They are pumped.
Right. It was a special day, special run. Some seniors really stepped up and showed the true excellence of North Hardin High School.
Yeah, you look at the times and how and a lot of local kids, not just from North, had exceptional performances
Correct.
at state. And you build for that, and it's funny when a kid will do something and they'll look at the time and go, Did I do that?
Yeah.
But that's what you work for, right? I mean, that's the program.
Yes, we hope we try to coach to have them peak at the state championship.
Yeah.
It's a lot of science involved and backing off and seeing how a kid feels and just talking to them.
Right.
And watching times, and you can tell if they can go further or you need to back off of them. So, hey, the guys did it. They really did it, and the girls did it as well.
Yeah, they did, and you had some vacancies on the team,
Yes, sir.
and granted, we don't put a lot of credence. Everyone expected the team to be good, but right, I mean, early preseason ratings are what they are. You would expect to be number one coming off a state championship,
Right.
but the kids believe they were state champions right from day one.
I'll tell you what, this was by far the most difficult season for us, or me included, to coach. Last year, it was just we went to the mountaintop. I mean, we swept. It wasn't close, and it was hard for everyone, including myself, to get motivated to come back and do that again.
Yeah.
And so, I had several kids start getting jobs, even tough runners. So last year, they weren't there, and this year, I got to work, Coach. I have to work. So it was tough.
Yeah.
But, again, when that gun went off, I saw things that really, really impressed me.
Wow.
So
And
I was proud of it.
Yeah,
Yes, very proud of it. And we can talk about them. For example, Kevin Dyer. Kevin Dyer came in. He was one of the top 200 runners in the state. But our region is just not that strong, and so he didn't need a strong time to come in. He was stuck in lane 9. Oh. And, you have no one out there. And to me, he had the performance of the year. He came in third place in lane 9.
Wow.
And that was just, he really rose up. And our pole vaulters did excellent, C.J. Morales and Antonio Parker. And we had a great mix of old and new.
Yeah.
And you can't say enough what Dante Johnson did.
Yeah, man.
The guy he was trying to beat was going for his 4th straight state championship in the 110 high hurdles, the young man out of Male High School. Dante had beat him once earlier this year at Louisville Central, and so he knew then, I can beat this guy.
Yeah.
And, man, it was an incredible race. If you ever get to see the video, they were neck
Is
and
it
neck.
Is it up on YouTube?
It is on YouTube.
Okay.
It is on YouTube.
Yeah, because I saw some of Kiana's events were on YouTube, and I was checking them out, and I was like, whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, Jordan Fields was his name, and I still consider him the best. But on that day, Dante got him, and they came off the last 2 hurdles. Dante was clean, and he didn't hit the hurdle. Jordan hit the 9th hurdle, and Jordan hit the 10th hurdle and couldn't overcome it, and he stumbled, and Dante went through smooth. So
if you clip one and it's early enough, you can recover.
Yes,
but
sir.
if it's late, it's not. And that, to me, that's still one of the most difficult events logically, especially if you slow mo. These kids, literally just what the body has to endure while it's under extreme force is just amazing.
Well,
man.
I love that event. I'd like to thank Coach Rudy McKinney, because when I started, I knew nothing. I didn't run track in high school.
You didn't?
I did not. No, sir.
How'd you end up in this game?
Man, when I was hired by Joe Jaggers to come coach football, the assistant principal says, we need a track coach. We need an assistant track coach. And I said, okay. He said, you are the assistant track coach now. And so that's how I met Rudy McKinney. Okay. And he's a legend in itself. He's North Hardin's first state champion in 71. Wow. And I just learned under him, and he said, okay, you're going to learn one event each year as my assistant.
Oh, cool.
And so start out with the hurdles.
Wow.
And I've been in love with the event ever since.
So that was your master's degree in track and field.
Yeah.
What a cool! But don't you love that the way mentoring works? I mean, because you were able to focus on one component. Now, obviously, you took it all in, but when you have a guy that has that kind of depth of knowledge on something, and then it can teach you, it's a system. It takes time.
Right.
You can't just absorb all that stuff, which we know with kids. I mean, you throw so much at them, and they look at you like, okay.
Right. With 18 events, it's you just take it one part at a time, and you really don't. I mean, I can say I've mastered coaching the hurdles.
Yeah.
But if I go to the pole vault or the shot put, I'm still the pole vault is just too technical, and I can't. I mean, I learned it.
Yeah.
But
you need to get your physics guy out there.
Breaking
it down on an iPad.
You have to have
kids.
Great assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Antonio Jackson is a former athlete of ours, and he loves it and he lives it, and he's done a great job with it.
Well, and that's another thing. You look at the number that you have on your staff and that work with this program, and let's give them some love because talk about this team you got.
Well, again, we're one unit,
right?
Okay, so we all have our responsibilities. We'll start with Coach Franklin. Sam Franklin is the throws coach. He has boys and girls throwers. He's been there for over 15 years. Okay. We'll go through our jumps coach. Our high jumps coach is on, I think this is third year or second year. That's Coach Johnson, Kendrick.
Yeah, I know Kendrick.
And he had a state champion. And when you see him, he cried like a baby. Yes, Ken, I'm saying it on television. He cried and he will admit it.
He's a proud papa, baby.
Man, it was incredible. It was a great moment. So he has our high jumpers. We have our triple and long jumpers, Coach Aaron Coney. He ran at Eastern Kentucky University. He's a graduate here. Another kid who's come back to give back to the team.
Nice.
What am I leaving out? The pole vault is Antonio Jackson. He's also a returning graduate. Works at the correctional facility in Oldham County.
Okay.
And drives down.
Wow.
So who am I leaving? Coach Russell.
Yeah.
He has our distance. James Jackson.
Okay.
He's the boys cross country coach. He has the boys distance. And
wow.
Then there's me, who I cover the hurdlers and the sprinters and the relays.
Yeah.
And we challenge each other. Hey, what kind of points are you going to bring to the meet?
Well, and my point exactly in the open. Right. I mean, that's what I love about, people don't understand, track is the only individual sport that requires a team effort if you're going to go anywhere.
Right.
I mean, it's, it really is. And you set goals and expectations for yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beautiful thing about track is kids can see their progress.
Right.
A lot of other sports, if you're playing once a week on a football field, in basketball, there's too many variables, there's too much. But, man, you got a clock.
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And we talk about feedback all the time. And it's hard to get kids out for track, believe it or not, because I'll use basketball as an example. You get instant feedback. You miss a shot, you make a shot. Yeah. You're positive.
Exactly.
With track, you can literally get beat every week, every race, but improve your time.
Right.
And no one will notice it. You'll be down on yourself, but you're doing better.
Right.
And that's why we trace the best competition. And I've told the kids that. I said, we can go run against teams that are inferior to us, and we'll beat them all the time, but that won't help you. You have to go against people who are kicking your butt.
Right.
And, for example, we took Kiana down to Mobile, Alabama, so she can go against the best. And it just makes you better.
Yeah, well, your invitational is off the charts. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean you probably got a waiting list for teams to get up to that.
If it's a scheduling issue because a lot of big teams are coming in, but right now Eastern High School has the best meet in the state. I mean, it's huge. It might even be too big right now. Yeah. But they're getting kids from all around the country coming to that meet.
Wow.
And that's what you want eventually. But we had a team come down to our meet from Bloomington, Indiana.
Cool.
Bloomington North or South, one of the teams. Okay. Anyway, they came and they did a great job. They came in second in the meet, and so it's good to go against different talents.
Well, yeah, people you don't know, and so many of these kids know each other, and they've run against each other, and plus the multi-sport athletes you got, they all know each other, and
exactly.
Yeah. So, but I think, and to pull something like that off, people don't understand the coordination that goes into an event like that.
Yes.
And this year you had to kind of do the jump because you had to go across town with it. But there's a lot of folks involved in that process in there.
Yes. It's quite an undertaking. You got to have a lot of help.
Yeah.
I have the experience, again, thanks to Rudy McKinney and running the meet. So once it gets started, once that gun goes off, the kind of meet runs itself.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of organizing, and there's quite a few people in this community that's experienced doing that.
Yeah, I got to tell you a quick story. My mother, one time, when I got involved in field events, they got me into long jumping.
Okay.
And so she came to a meet. It was an away meet. It was a big invitational, statewide invitational. And she couldn't comprehend the fact that all these things are going on concurrently.
Right.
And she said, who are you supposed to watch? You know, and it was kind of interesting because it's constant motion. Mm-hmm. And kids are always moving, you know, and you got to get this in because you got to get over here and get stretched for your next event. And But I think that was part of the excitement of it, because it's one of those things where, you know, especially if you run more than one event, if you're doing your individual events and doing your relays, it's just a great day.
Yes.
Just a great day.
I've fallen in love with the sport, and it's great to watch overall. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity to see one person, you know, show what their gift is or how hard they've been working.
Right.
They can't hide in a team, you know.
Right.
Not 11 on the field and mess up.
No, that clock's your clock.
Yes.
That clock's Chuck's clock, and that's the way it works. I mean, but I think for goal setting and continuous improvement, the skill set that y'all teach, and what it entails, and the frustration part of it, because life isn't going to give you, you know, you don't get lemons, you're going to get them,
right?
And some of us more than not. But so you got to learn to persevere and get through that, and you know, all the kids. Yeah, I spent the last 3 years at ECTC en route to what I'm doing, and had a lot of kids from North, and they were all saying, "Man, it's just you just feel good about yourself, like you've accomplished something, that you've got value to what you've done, and man, that's why we do this." Right? I mean,
you're right. It's a testament to our staff. Everybody motivates their athletes, and they bring a high level expertise. They know the event, and they work hard, and they talk to the young men and women, and we try to get the best out of them.
But you let them have fun too. They love it. They enjoy it.
We're a loving staff. If you ask anybody on our team, the kids think we're crazy.
Yeah, they say, well, not crazy.
We're grabbing each other, slapping each other, talking about each other. We're not very, I mean, we're serious when it comes down to competition, but I genuinely love everyone on our staff. We all get along, and that's the key. I think they feed off of that. We're relaxed. We're not worried. They, you know, when we jump them, they understand we love them, and we do it because we care. And that, you know, the relationship goes a great distance.
Yeah, and it's deep and meaningful. And you know, one of the cool things about North is watching kids come back. Kids come back. Well, I remember when I was calling basketball, and I'd sit there, and it was like a receiving line for Bevers. And, you know, when these players would come in, it's like guys going back to the 70s and 80s coming in with their kids, and there's probably not a better fan base as far as tradition is concerned anywhere than North Hardin alum. They love the school.
They do.
They love the school.
It's great to be around. I remember when we had our ring ceremony, you see people like Bo O'Brien show up. He's one of the first coaches. Barbara Underwood. And they just come and say, we're proud of what you're doing. You guys are keeping the tradition going. And it means a lot. It means a lot. And we try to instill that into the kids. Hey, we're out here to compete. And they see it now that when we show up to a track meet, it's like, hey, North Hardin here. I mean, it's really, people kind of stop.
It's
you
true.
know, we walk in there and they kind of stop. Like, oh man, here we go.
That's Dante Johnson.
Yeah. There's that girl, Kiana Gray.
Well, I hope I'm not in the lane next to him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
and that is a special feeling. We tell the kids that. So when you get off this
it's
bus,
a privilege. Yep.
You know, you carry yourself a certain way because they expect
a
great program to come off that bus and compete against them. And we've done a good job of keeping that tradition going. So,
you guys do an excellent job. You really do.
You know, if we can talk about that state championship a little bit more, I didn't believe we had the team to do it. I mean, looking at Trinity coming in and St. X, I did not think we could beat them. But there's a couple of relays that really shocked me. The 4x200 meter relay where we ran a 128, and we had two solid people in Dante and Kevin with experience. But we had two young guys that come, you know, Paxton Wiley, who'll be in here, and Jonathan O'Brien. Those two guys did amazing.
Wow.
And that was the 4x2. And then in the 4x1, same thing. We had one senior guy who I knew would do the job, but we had a freshman at the lead leg, Martine Marlin, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then he gives it to Paxton, and Paxton had a great second leg, and Paxton gives it to Jonathan O'Brien. Again, we call him White Lightning. And he was just an alternate last year.
Wow.
And so it was fantastic. And we gave it to Kevin, and we had the lead, in fact, but the best runner in the state from Henry Clay, that kid called us. So
did he?
Yeah. But then you got your hidden points.
Right.
The shot put.
Yeah.
AJ
your
Hampton.
Throwers, yeah,
yes,
your throwers.
AJ Hampton and Matt Hughes, 4th and 5th, and coach was really crazy. He's never had 2 50-foot throwers in a meet, and AJ came up 3 inches short. I think he went 49.9, something like that. So that was, they did it. I mean, they were just impressive. So
well, and again, all the kids know they're contributing
yes.
at all levels.
Yes.
They push each other, and that's why it works.
Right.
But big senior class this year, special kids for you. Woo. Man.
Yeah, we're going to miss them big time. CJ Morales, the vaulter, and he did some long jumping. He graduates. He's going to UK, and I believe he's going to try the vault at UK.
Sweet.
He's a very smart kid. He's got a full academic ride through the AVID program. So he is in contact with the coaching staff. Dante Johnson, I don't know if you know, he signed with Lindsey Wilson. He'll be teamed up there with Marcus Terrell and Andrew Morgan.
Okay.
So they're all going there, and I heard you speak about Chanel. She's up there, so they're excited about going there. And I can't think of another senior. They're out there, though.
Yeah, they're out there.
Tyler Breeds.
Yeah.
And I don't think Tyler's he's more of a career oriented. I don't think he's going to run in college. He wants to go to a technical school, and he's fired up about that. But he was a great kid.
But it's given a lot of kids opportunities.
Oh yeah.
And it's the best investment you can make as a kid. Best investment.
We're strong. I'm proud of it. Constantly recruiting in the building.
You are. And that's when I ask kids about you. That's the one thing you are the consummate recruiter. I mean, you must see things in these kids. You know what I'm saying.
I'm fortunate. I have the.
Right.
I'm a PE teacher.
You're right, and you're the weightlifting and all that stuff. So I mean, you got a captive audience. They can't go anywhere.
It's like that's how we found Kiana Gray. I had her in class, and I was like, my goodness, look what this young lady's doing in these plyometric drills we're doing. And I said, okay, all right. I said, if you come out, I guarantee we'll win 4 straight. You'll win 4 events. And we came up short last year. We only won 3, and. So she made true to my statement this year. Yeah. She pretty much put that out there, didn't she? Yes. So. You gotta love it when somebody does that. Exactly. Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. It's good seeing you. Thank you. We'll get Coach Russell in and see what his story is. All right. Appreciate you having us. All right, man. Good seeing you. Thank you. James Webb, North Hardin Track, Operation Domination. We'll be back after this.